What is up? Okay, so I wanted to quickly cover how to do a proper assessment from your house. I know you can go to the gym, you can have an assessment done. You can go to the doctor, you can have an assessment done. You can go a lot of places, but the easiest way to do it from your house with bare minimum equipment, but to make sure that it's efficient and done correctly, I'm going to go over just some quick basics. All right, so let's get this started. So I've got my rough copy here, but this is the same thing that you will have provided to you to reference as well, so after this video is over. So here's the first thing that you're going to need, and it's going to be on the top of your page. Put the date, all right? You don't need your name because you're the only one using it, but put the date so you know exactly when you did it, and I would also put the time just as a quick, something you can reference back to, because depending if you weigh yourself in the morning or the night, your weight is going to fluctuate. I typically weigh heavier in the evening because after a full day, your stomach is full of food, most likely, because it doesn't digest that quickly. You're also going to hydrate and pull in a lot more water just from being out in the atmosphere and everything else. So your lightest is typically in the morning when you first get up before you do anything. And that's what I'm going to recommend that you shoot for, okay? The second thing on here, and I don't see it being massively important, but I do see it as something you need to check every few weeks. That is your weight, okay? Now you know how to check your weight. Hop on the scale, what the scale says, preferably weigh yourself naked, but whatever the scale says, that is your weight, okay? We don't keep a scale in our house. We haven't in years, so when Sarah does her assessment, she'll usually go up to the nutrition club or a gym. That way she can get her weight done. But we don't keep one in the house. We never have. The next thing is going to be your measurements. Now this is where you can get somebody to help you. So if you're married, have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a child even, they can help you with this, or you can do it yourself. It's not that hard to do it yourself. There's a few key measurement spots that you need to focus on, and I'm going to show you exactly how to measure the same spot every single time. Because if you don't measure the same spot, then those measurements will fluctuate massively, and you'll never have accuracy. So first thing, you need a tape measure. These, just grab them from the sewing section of a Walmart or something like that. You're going to have 3 different sizes. You'll have a 60-inch, a 120-inch, and then I believe it's 196 inches. This one is 120 inches. It's a big one. Just because I've been training for so long, there's situations where a 60-inch won't necessarily work for everybody. But you're probably not going to need one this big. A 60-inch should be sufficient, okay? So 3 different ones, they only cost a couple dollars, so no big deal. It's not a huge investment. The first measurement we're going to do, I'll show you exactly how you would do it on yourself, by yourself, or how somebody can help you. The measurement points for your chest are nipple line to nipple line. I used to always giggle when I would say that, but now that I've been saying it for 10 years, I don't find it as funny anymore. But from nipple line to nipple line, so you're going to place it literally over your nipples, okay? And then if you're doing it by yourself, you're going to come around to the side, or even in front, and where it crosses over, and you got to be a little patient with it because it's going to want to slide all over the place. Doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. You'll look and see, and you'll be able to tell exactly what that measurement is. Don't pull it super tight or don't get it super loose, just kind of right there in that soft spot. If somebody's helping you, it's much easier. Just have them go around your stomach, and then you take it and you place it, same thing, from nipple line to nipple line, and then they'll take the measurements and read it. Exactly 32. All right, the next thing that we're going to cover is the stomach. That's the next important measurement point. So for your stomach, the easiest way is right over your belly button. So literally taking the tape measure and placing it over your belly button. Because your belly button is not going to move. It is permanent in the same spot. Alright, so now it may go up, down, in, out, over to the side, but it's technically in the same area. So you're going to put this right over it. Same thing if you're doing it yourself. You're going to take it to the side. You're going to see where those numbers cross. That's your measurement. Again, same thing. Somebody helps you. You place it over your belly button, and then you have them read the numbers off to you. Exactly what the numbers are. All right? The next measurement is going to be your hips. For your hips, everybody from the side. Will you turn sideways? Okay. So, on the side, everybody has the thickest part of their butt. That is the easiest spot to measure. Obviously, your butt curves down and it goes in. So find the widest area of your butt, your glutes, and that's where you're going to measure. That point will always be the biggest part, the widest part, okay? So, same thing, you're doing it on yourself. You probably want to look in the mirror for this so you can get pretty accurate. I'm assuming this is the fattest part of my butt, and so same thing, I could look, see, have somebody helping you. It's a little creepy if they're standing right behind you, but I always stand to the side when I do this. It's a little more comfortable, so you can have somebody help you by standing. So turn this way, turn that way, there you go. So that way it's a little more appropriate as well. All right, and they'll get your measurements. Now, the next one, going down the body, we'll come back up to the arm in a minute, but going down, you're going to measure the right thigh only. Now, there is a specific reason you want to focus on the right side of the body versus the left side. The left side is considered the inaccurate side of the human body. Okay, I know it's weird, it seems weird, but one side of your body is always bigger or smaller than the other. One side is weaker or stronger. One ear is higher and lower than the other. They say your proportionate side is your right side. So we're going to measure the right side every single time. I don't ever measure the left leg. I never have. So for this one, if you're doing it by yourself, you could take, this is called a shaka. If you ever go to Hawaii and somebody does this, it's called the shaka. I lived there and I loved it. Did a lot of shakas. So this is what you would do. You could take it from your knee, okay? Luckily my socks match today. They usually don't. You take it from your knee right there, and you measure up. So exactly the length of a shaka. That way, your hand, unless it grows, during the 6 weeks, you're going to measure the same spot every time. This one's pretty easy to do on yourself. So get the spot. I'll usually push it with my thumb so it changes the color, and then measure. Now, depending on your hand size, you might measure higher, you might measure lower. If somebody is measuring for you, same thing. They're going to use their hand. They'll find right in the center of your kneecap, and then boom, right where their thumb lands, that's where they're going to measure. The last measurement is going to be your bicep or your arm, also on the right side only. For this one, you need to be right in the center. You kind of want to be, let's turn sideways. I'll turn sideways as well. So on your arm, there's going to be one area that's the thickest part because it's going to be the tip of the bicep, and it's also going to be the point where your tricep meets. So with me, it's going to be right here to right here. With Sarah, it's going to be right here. You can eyeball this measurement. You can turn back around. You can eyeball this measurement by just looking, okay? Or what I used to do is I would kind of take two hands just like this. I would put the top one at the top of the shoulder. I would put my pinky on the other shaka fingers, really, on the elbow. So from the top of the shoulder to the elbow, and then where these, my thumb and my pinky meet, which is kind of in the middle, that's my midpoint. All right? So again, if your hands aren't changing size, then you're going to get the same measurement every time. So you can either eyeball it or you can do this type of measurement. If you're doing it on yourself, the same rule applies. All right? So for this one, it's a little bit harder. What I do is I take my arm like this, I flip it over and around. All right? You'll probably need somebody to spot you, or you'll need to look in the mirror. But from this, you'll put your arm down. Relax it as much as you can. This is going to be your accurate measurement, okay? This is accurate. Doing this is not accurate. It used to annoy me when people would be like, I got 19-inch guns. I'm like, no, you have 14-inch guns. Okay, so you want to measure the relaxed to your side point. The bicep is definitely easier to have somebody help you. So those are your measurements. Those are the only measurements you need, and those are going to be your key measuring spots every single time. That's all the spots, and the only way I've done assessments for a decade now. Now, taking your picture. During this challenge, definitely take the before picture, and you're going to definitely take one in 6 weeks. But I'm going to encourage you, since I don't want you touching or looking at a scale, I don't want you doing your measurements all the time, I am going to encourage you to take a weekly picture. Some weeks you're going to see more changes than others. Some weeks you may even feel or think that you're not making the progress that you have been, but that's fine. I want you taking those pictures, and that is the only way, besides how you feel, That's the only way you're going to be able to really see your results. So, as an example, do you have your phone here? Where's your phone? All right, here's this one. Okay, this is what I don't want you doing, all right? I don't want you using your iPhone and taking a selfie. You don't have to actually do it.
Okay.
Just act it out. I don't want that, okay? Multiple reasons for it. One, it provides an awful before and after picture because everything changes. If your hand is up here on one and it's down here on the other, everything's just changed with that shot. Your muscles change, the way your body has flexed has changed, your posture, your form, the lights, the shadows, everything. I can get heavy into photography on you, but you don't want to take just a selfie like this. So here's how you're going to do it if you're by yourself. So if it's just Sarah, she doesn't have somebody to take a picture for her, what she's going to want to do is make sure that she is in front of a mirror. Ideal is going to be a full-length mirror where she can see her entire body, okay, or where you can see your entire body. If you don't have that, you could take just called a mid shot, which means really from about your thigh, your waistline, and up. That's the most typical one that you're going to see. That's the most typical one that most people do, okay? So when you do that, you just want to kind of keep one hand down to the side. You keep it on your hip. You can get as cute as you want. That doesn't matter. And then with your iPhone or camera, use your other hand off to the side and take the picture. Don't hold it in front of your face or with two hands doing this, because when you hold it with two hands, again, it changes everything about the posture of your body. So for perfect posture, hand to the side, hold it, take a picture, look at it, make sure you actually got a picture of yourself. That's how you would do it in the mirror for a front shot. For a side shot, again, I would hold one arm up and then take it from the side. You can put it on your hip and you can take it from the side, but the whole point of a side shot is being able to see your side. Okay, you can also put your hand behind your head. I've seen people put their arm down, completely block their side shot because they're taking it like this and their arm is in the way. So you need your arm out of the way. Only take a picture of your right side. Our daughter, she's wanting to get in the camera, so she may jump in here in a minute. And then with a back shot, doing it by yourself, you can take your iPhone, because more than likely you take selfies with it, you can hold it over your head. So you can hold it over your head and you can take your back shot. Here's the only problem that I have with that. When you're holding your hands up, it is flexing all the muscles in your upper back. So you're going to see those muscles change, but just make sure, because this is the biggest thing that I see people really mess up on with a back shot. Their starting shot, they do it themselves. Then when they got awesome results and they're feeling sexier than ever, they have somebody else take their other shot and they do a flex like this, or they just hold their arms down. And so it's not the same pose. You want to make sure the pose is identical every single time. You want to make sure your lighting is identical every single time. So if you take it in a bathroom, which seems to be a common place, or your bedroom, Mila, quit squeaking that please for a second, or your bedroom, make sure the same lights are on every time. Like the lighting Sarah and I have right now is a 5600 Kelvin lighting. If I took it in a 3200 Kelvin lighting, which is most household lighting, it would change everything about my before and afters, okay? So you want to take it with the same lighting every single time, and the same area every single time, and pose the same way every single time. Now, if somebody's helping you, it's super simple, because all you have to do is follow the same guidelines I just told you, but somebody else is taking the pictures for you. And so you can stand there, you can turn, you can do whatever you want. But as long as everything is the same from week to week, you will be able to tell the actual changes of your body, okay?
I would also say even wear the same clothes so that things aren't shifting around because of your clothing either, because that can make a huge difference as well.
Right, and now these aren't going to be pictures that are going to be posted or anything like that. These are pictures for you, so for ladies, I'm going to definitely recommend, I guess you're not men on this one anyway, but ladies, the best thing you can do is wear a sports bra and then either yoga tights or board shorts or something like that. Something that's super tight that you can actually see every crevice, inch, and everything on your body, okay? So, let's see. I think that pretty much wraps it up, unless you've got anything you want to add to that.
Nope, the clothing thing was the only thing.
Okay, so make sure that you get those done today. And if you can't do, if you're like us and you don't have a scale, then just do the measurements or just do the pictures. I can tell you that I have not done a full assessment on myself in a long time. I've always just taken pictures, and I can tell if I'm eating wrong because I feel bad internally. And then I can tell if I'm not doing right as far as my workout program because my pictures aren't showing me what I should be seeing. So pictures really do everything that you need. I didn't recommend a body fat checker for one reason, well, a couple reasons. The biggest reason is you probably don't have one. You can buy a body fat assessment checker at Walmart or something like that. They're called an Omron. A lot of scales that you use also can check it, but it's used with electricity, which is fine, but the ones that you stand on, I've seen those get off quite a bit due to the thickness of the skin on your feet. And then the ones you hold, I've seen those things fluctuate up and down quite dramatically. So I'm not a huge fan of the cheaper Omrons and things like that. And also, if you're hydrated just a little bit more one day versus being a little bit dehydrated on another day, it can fluctuate your numbers massively. If it's that time of the month and you're doing your assessment, it can fluctuate your numbers massively. So I'm not a huge fan of doing the body fat check, okay? So stay away from that for now. I wouldn't worry about it. So we're going to wrap it up with that. The video was already longer than I had planned it to be, but make sure you get the assessment done and then just download or save the JPEG image I'm going to put up. It will tell you the exact spots to measure again. It will tell you exactly how to, or not how to, it'll tell you how to stand and pose for your pictures, and yeah, pretty much the basics right there. So we're going to wrap it up, and let's see. We'll be back on tomorrow. We got a workout coming at you, 5 a.m. Unless something happens, but we should be good to go at 5 a.m. So be sure to keep your nutrition on point, rock and roll, get it done. If you got questions, post them up on the page. Be sure to tag me and Sarah. A lot of times I get caught up working, and I don't check in on Facebook all the time. Sarah will keep an eye on it, and so if she can't answer it, she can ask me because I work from home right here, so she can make sure that I am aware of whatever the question is. So let's wrap this up, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Keep rocking the challenge. Day 1. Oh yeah.